Hey, 7th grade. Good morning. Good morning. We are getting started on our new unit, Unit 5, okay, the Roman Empire. So Rome's going to go through some more changes. Last we checked in on Rome, Rome was having some issues. They fought with Hannibal for a while. He kind of tore up their farms. A lot of people had to sell their farms, move to the city. City got crowded, had all kinds of issues with the buildings and the waste and the sewage and the disease, and it was just not going great. There were some people who came in and tried to fix it. One of those guys was Julius Caesar. A lot of people were kind of nervous. He made them nervous because he talked a lot about how one person should be in charge. Remember, Rome is a republic. They vote for their leaders. They share that power. And so they don't really like kings. So he went and got murdered. You guys solved that investigation. Okay, if you haven't gotten me your detective sheets yet, please get those to me so I can give you points. But thank you for your help on that cold case. But we're going to go ahead and move past and see what happens to Rome after Julius Caesar. What happens to Rome after Julius Caesar. And what ends up happening is his nephew, his adopted nephew, who goes by the nickname Augustus. And we'll see his real name in a second, but goes by the nickname Augustus, ends up taking over. And leading Rome into actually a really, really good time in its history. We opened up today by checking out this video, a little bit of info about Julius Caesar's nephew, Augustus. So check that out when you get a chance. But the big thing we're trying to figure out is, we were talking about the Roman Republic, and now we start using the term the Roman Empire. Okay, Empire. When you hear empire, a lot of times we think really big, we think very powerful, we think lots of money, we think lots of land. The big thing to remember about an empire is ruled by one person, ruled by an emperor. Kind of similar to a monarchy, just a lot bigger. Okay? And the power is not always passed down through the family. It just depends. But we're going to see Rome's going to transition to an empire, so one person in charge, the emperor. And that person happens to be Caesar Augustus. That's what they call him, Caesar Augustus. His real name is Octavian. And he's going to kind of come in after Julius Caesar is murdered and take over. Like I said, he is Julius Caesar's nephew, or adopted nephew. And he comes in, takes over, settles things down for a second. And he goes to the Senate and says, you know what, I'm going to resign. I'm going to give the power back over to the Republic. We'll restore the way we used to do things with the consuls and the tribunes and the Senate. And, we'll go back to the old way Rome used to run the government. Well, the Senate, they were so thrilled. They said, wow, this guy gets it. He wants to share the power. He appreciates the Republic. He respects the Senate. They saw him and said, this is what a true leader should be like. I think they also felt a little bad for murdering his uncle. Okay, so they refuse. The Senate actually says, you know what, Augustus? We like you. We think you'd be a great leader. So why don't you be our emperor? Why don't you be our ruler? In fact, they start throwing all these really nice nicknames at him, and the one that kind of stuck, the one that he really liked, was Augustus, which means revered one or respected one. So not only does he become the first legitimate emperor of Rome, the sole leader, the one person in charge, but he also gets a sweet nickname, Augustus, means respected. So he's going to take over and be in charge, and he's going to lead them to a time period known as the Pax Romana. Now, this is the first we're hearing of this. Romana looks like Rome, right? So that means Rome. Pax means peace in Latin. Pax means peace. So the peace of Rome. This is a 200-year time span after Augustus rules. Augustus is going to come in and make a lot of changes that we're going to see today. And then for 200 years, life is going to be very good for the Romans. We're going to see why. Okay, so Pax Romana means peace of Rome. So when you see Pax, think peace. All right, so because of the policy changes that Augustus makes, Rome heads into this 200-year time period that is really great, peaceful, prosperous. Even after Rome, and here's some spoilers, Rome's going to fall apart eventually and go away. Obviously, the Roman Empire is still not around today. The city is, but it's part of Italy. But because of Augustus's rule, Rome is going to basically be influential even after it's gone. Okay, its ideas, its influence, its model is just going to spread all over the world, and that's because of this 200-year time period that happened because of Augustus. Right. Let me get rid of these notifications real quick. All right. So there's a couple of different ways that Augustus strengthened his own authority. Because if he's going to be the ruler and he's going to be a strong ruler and effective, he's going to have to play nice with some other powerful people in Rome. Obviously, we saw his uncle, Julius Caesar, didn't play so nice. And we saw what happened to him. You guys solved that crime for me. Well, he actually had a lot of experience in the government. He had worked in a couple different roles in leadership in Rome. He is going to play nice with the assemblies and the Senate and everybody else who is kind of running the show in Rome. Because he is a clever politician and he has a lot of experience in government, he knows how to work with people. Okay? Now, one of the problems in Rome was that if people didn't like you, they tended to commit crimes against you, okay, murder you like they did Julius Caesar. Specifically, a lot of government leaders or military leaders. Okay, they all tended to have personal guards or armies at their disposal, and if they didn't like what you were doing or you made them nervous, they might assassinate you. So what Augustus did is he made all the armies, all the soldiers in the entire Roman Empire swear allegiance to him personally. Okay, not just swear allegiance to Rome and to help Rome, but swear allegiance to Augustus, so they would be loyal to him. He's also going to give enslaved people and freedmen, freedmen are people who used to be slaves, a chance and opportunity to work for the government. Okay, so he's going to provide opportunities for them to have nice jobs helping to run Rome. Okay, so he's going to give some power to people who didn't have power before. That's going to earn him some friends and some respect. He's also going to take Rome's borders and push them to the natural boundaries. So let me give you kind of an example. If we're trying to defend our empire, the Roman Empire, and we've just kind of got this big open grassland, this field that's like really not that hard to walk through, and it's just super easy to just travel across, an army is not going to have any problem getting across there to come to attack us. But if we push our boundary, our border, to a set of really tall mountains, it's going to be kind of difficult for an enemy to get their army over the mountains. Or let's say we push our boundaries to the deserts of North Africa. Well, there's not too many armies that are going to want to, march across the desert for a couple weeks to a couple months. And so we don't really have to worry about people attacking us from the desert. We don't have to worry about people attacking us from the mountains. If it's difficult for people to get an army across, we don't have to send our army there to protect it. Okay, that's a natural boundary. So we're able to then take our army and put them in better places, places that are maybe a little weaker, a little more vulnerable. That's what Augustus did. So he was using the army smarter, okay, working smarter, not harder. What we're going to see is he's also going to do some things financially and some things legally to help Rome. One of the things he does to kind of strengthen his power is Rome is conquering a lot of land. They have a lot of provinces. These are lands that Rome controls. They're not technically Roman, but they are kind of like territories. And what Augustus starts to do is the governors who are in charge of those provinces, who have armies at their disposal, he starts paying them really high salaries, giving them long terms of office. So they really like him because they're getting paid and they're getting power for a long time for the work they're doing, controlling the provinces, helping Rome control this land that they're conquering. Now, what he's also going to start doing is he's going to start giving citizenship to people who live in those provinces. So people who used to think of themselves as enemies of Rome, as servants of Rome, as subjects, as others, now suddenly have Roman citizenship. Now they start thinking of themselves as Roman. So they're not going to fight back against the Romans because now they feel like they are Roman. They feel like they are part of the team. Another issue that they had in Rome, remember, was those tax collectors. Those publicans were taking too much money. They're being greedy. Well, what Augustus does is he orders a population count, which is a census. And everybody has to report to their hometowns. He counts everybody up and then says, hey, this is how big your family is. This is how much tax you should pay. And by doing that, he makes it a more legitimate system of tax collection, so people aren't getting ripped off. It's more accurate. These tax collectors can't really lie about how much they're taking and how much each family's paying because they have an accurate count. Okay, and that's going to really help the government run pretty smoothly for a while. Make him more popular with people. He's also going to help increase trade. So one thing he does is he institutes the same coins to be used in the entire empire. So instead of going from one city and let's say I go from Athens and I want to go to Rome to trade, instead of having to then trade the type of coins I use and come up with different coins and switch that all around and potentially get ripped off in the exchange rate, if I know that all of the Roman Empire is using all the same coins, well, I just got to get that one kind of coin. Okay? And it's going to make business a lot easier, less confusing. It's going to make it more fair. He's also going to lower the tariffs or the taxes on goods that are brought in. So people are going to want to do a lot of trading with Rome because they don't have to pay these high taxes. And then they had the roads all over the Roman Empire, which made it pretty safe and easy for people to trade and to travel. And then he's also going to put the Roman Navy to work getting rid of the pirates in the Mediterranean. Because the pirates are gone, people aren't afraid to sail. They're not afraid of getting ripped off. So now they're traveling and they're doing a lot of business. Okay, a lot of business. That's really good. That's going to help Roman business owners make a lot of money. Okay, lots of money. It was really good to live in Rome and make money this time. I was going to show off my wallet and show off the stacks of cash at this point in the presentation. And then when I was looking through my wallet, I realized I don't have that kind of cash. Okay, I can't flex all this money like Rome under Augustus. In fact, all I have is half of a Chipotle gift card. So I guess I need to get on that Pax Romana level. All right. Enough with the corny jokes and attempts to be cool. Moving on. Augustus is also going to make some changes to the laws. So one thing he does is he reworks some of the business laws because Rome is expanding and doing trade with people who are not part of Rome. The laws are outdated. Okay, it's not fair to the Romans. The Romans are getting ripped off. So they redo the laws, make it fair for everybody who's trading. They also are going to try to revise some of the laws and make them more reasonable, meaning there has to be a reason for following that law. It has to make sense. It can't just be a law because the government says so. I know you guys know how annoying it is when a teacher says, you ask a teacher why there's a rule, and the teacher says, well, that's because that's the way it is, because I said so, or when your parents say that. I know it's annoying. The Romans were annoyed too, so that's why they made the laws reasonable. They had to have a reason for them. They wanted to make everyone equal under the law. Now be careful with that one. They're not talking about everybody. Remember, this is still ancient times, so it's a patriarchal society. They still only mean free Roman males, okay, men who were Roman citizens who are not slaves. They're not talking about women. They're not talking about slaves. But they wanted to make it fair between rich men and poor men, that the laws were the same for everybody. The Romans are going to come up with this idea of innocent until proven guilty. You hear that on a lot of court TV shows. Okay, that's where we get that idea. And they're going to make a standardized set of laws. So when you travel around the Roman Empire, all the laws are the same. So it's not like you get somewhere new and accidentally break a law because you're surprised. The laws are the same everywhere. In fact, a lot of these principles, standardized laws, innocent until proven guilty, everyone equal under the law, other Western countries later on, like the United States, are going to start borrowing those ideas. And even groups that we're going to study later, like the Christian church, they're going to do that too. Okay? All right. Now, folks, we did watch some Augustus videos here at the end. It's going to highlight some good things about him, maybe some things that some people criticize him for. In the next video you're going to watch, I'm going to explain the project that you're doing. Okay, but this video and these Nearpod notes are going to be super helpful in that project, so check those Nearpods out on the Canvas and check this video because you can always pause me if you need to copy down some information for your project. So stay tuned. I'm going to explain what you need to do.